Well, hello there. Looks like we've got a few people in already. A couple questions. Let's see, something on is this the full movie? Well, I'll be watching the full movie. So definitely get your Disney Plus up so you can go ahead and watch along with me. I'm not going to play the full movie visuals and audio here because that would get all kinds of copyright claims. But anyway, I'll have a timer up here, up in the top. Not there. So that way you can sync up at the same time as I'm going ahead and watching it. So this is pretty short. It's going to be a 47 minutes, it looks like, with all kinds of end credits, I'm sure. And a couple of things off the bat, I will go ahead and note that I never actually have seen the original Star Wars Holiday Special. Now, that said, I know quite a fair bit about it because I've never been worried about spoilers on the original one, considering how bad it's supposed to be. Someday, maybe I'll go ahead and watch that original Star Wars Holiday Special. But certainly haven't yet. Okay. So yeah, we will go ahead and start on into that. Also, I'm going to go ahead and pop up all of your guys' chats over here. So they'll be over here in the video. So you'll be able to see those here on the side. Now, that said, hopefully the chats will actually pop up afterwards and still be available. I'm not sure what happened on the last live stream and why they're not visible, but hey, hopefully this time it'll work. Yeah, never know. Okay. So, with that, let us get ready. So, everybody get your Disney Plus up, or if you have some other way of watching the holiday special, get that up and ready. And then I will pop up the timer here. And I will get ready to do that. So, unless you have any questions before we start watching, anybody got anything? If so, put it in there now and I'll respond to it before we start. If not, we'll start right on in. Okay. So seeing nothing in there, so let us go ahead and get started. And no, I'm not going to go ahead and skip intros or anything like that. I would, not to mention, I would have missed that little Lego thing there. Otherwise, it would also screw up our timing here. So we're after episode 9 here, huh? Fair enough opening? Sure. Ah, we get to actually see Finn with a lightsaber. Well, more for realsies. So Ray now training Finn. I guess you don't really have anyone else to learn from, huh? Finn's going to the dark side. New path. Nice. Oh, good. Let's bring in some other people. So it was neat seeing Finn get to do some training with a lightsaber there. Which things that we never actually got in the sequel trilogy, but feels like we should have somewhere. So, Maria, you're asking, what am I doing? So, we're into the movie about 3 minutes and 23 seconds, as you can see up at the top here. Man, it feels absurd to have Ray teaching somebody else. But again, in the in the galaxy we've set up as far as the sequel trilogy is concerned, we've never shown any other Jedi actually existing currently. So I don't know what else you would do. So, what do y'all think about Poe's Christmas sweater with BB-8 on it there? Gotta have an ugly Christmas sweater. Yeah, nice reference. I have a plan. Vader versus Kylo? Not sure what the question is there. If I have to pick one, I'd pick Vader, but if we're talking about in a fight, Vader. It's the Christmas planet. Snow everywhere, right? Birdie? That's a little bit of Star Wars theme music in the background. It's supposed to be a kyber crystal? Really giant kyber crystal if it is. But then it's Lego, so... Our excuse to go hop around through the saga. Cool, cool. Empire Strikes Back. Jedi wisdom. Yes, indeed, but still. I think you should go back a little further in time for that. Snoke versus Vader? Well, I suppose it depends on what we call Snoke exactly. If Snoke is being controlled by Palpatine, then Vader kind of follows Palpatine anyway. I don't know. If we're actually having a real fight, I mean, he never seemed to quite have the power of Palpatine. It's hard. I mean, we never really saw what power level Snoke really had. He never had a real fight that way. So I guess I'd have to again probably go Vader in this case, just because I don't really know any true power level for Snoke. Hard to say though. So we're all the way back to episode 1. And they're just jumping left and right through the saga here, huh? That's kind of fun, actually, having her scene. At least we get some interaction. No, not. Never mind, we don't. Hmm. Why no start? We did start. Started, as I said, we're 11 minutes, and as you can see up here, 11 minutes and 17 seconds into the movie right now. So again, sync it up, watch it with me. Eh. Not that I think Ray would ever fit in there either, but hey. Yeah, right now this is just excuses to go ahead and keep jumping through the saga at this point. Maria, I'm watching the movie again. As you can see up here, we are just over 12 minutes into the movie, so sync up your Disney Plus to go ahead and watch it along with, and you will be watching it with me and hearing my commentary and reactions as I'm going through. I said I'm not showing the actual video and audio here because, well, that's all kinds of copyright claim issues. Alright, so we're back to here. Are we roasting porgs? Or too big for a porg, right? How do you even know who all those people are? You just randomly jumped in there, but you wouldn't know who they were. Right? Yeah. Although I guess they all talked through the Force through her, so maybe in some of that Force communing. If he ever called it Death Star 2. Dang. Right. Nice how the portal stays open this time. I mean, if it had stayed open earlier with, say, Anakin and Obi-Wan, I think they might have jumped through it too, right? So Vader goes. So if Vader were to ever find a portal like this, would you go straight to killing whoever's on the other side, or would you want to, say, interrogate that person? After all, just a force choke, grab the person over, read their mind, or whatever method. I'm just saying. So pretty much feels like, A, we've got this storyline here with the whole setting up and preparing for the party. Meanwhile, we're doing Rey adventuring through time. I gotta say, the whole current time period, not doing a ton for me. So, see what we see, I suppose. Over at Hoth, it looks like. Interesting how we only jump to places we've seen in the movies, as opposed to, oh, say, anywhere else in the galaxy that might pop up. I don't know, we could pop them in the middle of space. Get our little Spider-Man meme pointing at each other, right? So Darth Vader versus Darth Vader, who wins? Is he slightly more experienced one, the one that would do better? Or is he slightly older, therefore slightly less powerful? Vader doesn't help himself. Best help. Yeah. It's going to make a joke. I said, we can't do something, do it yourself kind of thing, but except Vader doesn't help himself? Man, this is really just an excuse to jump into the different scenes, isn't it? There just doesn't seem to be much deeper within jumping to these different scenes yet. Mandalorian had to pop up somewhere, I suppose. So that's me. Will we jump to Clone Wars and Rebels at some point in here too, or now that we've actually started touching some of the shows? Man, I'd love to enjoy this more than I am. It just, nostalgia for nostalgia's sake just isn't enough for me. While it's cool to see the pod race here, it is. And off we go. Good to hear it gets better, Kyle. Thanks. Well, now we're doing something a little different. We're pulling more and more people through, so that could get fun. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Let's pop them all in. Everyone come here and here at the binary sunset. Blue milk mustache. Got milk? Yes. Just tossing our little references in there. This is funky as heck. No, it's not looking like we're going to toss Clone Wars and Rebels since we seem to have jumped everybody together, but we didn't do the rest, so. Otherwise, maybe we would have had Darth Maul with, say, some legs. Although, even in the movies, we could have pulled that off. Bonus points. Are we jumping into alternate timelines or the same, so we're going to have to reset everything at the end? Not that it seems to have affected anybody else yet with all this time jumping, so although back to the, hey, shut your brain off piece, maybe it doesn't matter, right? How nice that the portal have closed quickly. Well, we've got a trainer for Finn. Yeah, Luke, who has never trained to be a Jedi at this point. That'll work. Feels like a little rib toward the fact that Emperor Palpatine was still around in there. How are you still here? Granted, back to comics in the ways that we did pull that off originally, right? Very different, though, but very similar. Well, whatever. Although at this point, the First Order should have a portion of the galaxy, right? Not that it was ever clearly stated in those movies, but at that point, because for him to be Supreme Leader, this has to be post Last Jedi, so they should have control of a good bit of the galaxy. That was easy. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. I agree. Luke would love BB-8. Sorry if you're catching any of the wind and the rain in the background. I've got over this way, shall we say. That way? Not that that means anything to you, but tons of wind and rain over here today. You just go, you knew that how? Must have talked, right? By the way, also, the whole talk about would you throw your master down a reactor shaft? You always know that about any Sith apprentice you have. That's just kind of part of the whole thing of the Sith in terms of eventually wanting to overthrow your master because you want the power yourself. So you always have that worry and that fear. First time I think we've referenced him in ages right there. Hey, it's Lando. Not a bad job on the voice on Maz there. Careful of bringing Jawa in. More references. I had to see that joke coming. I gotta say. Oh, jeez. So now she'll actually hear you. Yeah, yeah. Saw that one coming around. Well, she's already heard him in the Force by this point because this is post 9. So it shouldn't be that unbelievable to her. I mean, she didn't see him because they never had that interaction, but she should have heard him amongst other people. But talking the other piece, jumping back a moment, Kylo Ren is a horrible person to go ahead and bring back as Palpatine, right? Because if you're Kylo Ren, you look hugely up to Darth Vader. So if he's going to side with one of the two, just saying he's probably siding with Vader. His grandpa, right? Easy lessons. If only you just knew you needed to stay friends and not hurt Finn's feelings. Oh boy. Now I'm gonna open it without the crystal, right? Oh. Hmm. Hey, we can time travel anytime we like now. Yeah, it is. Try not to overthink it. It's like, yeah, Kylie, you're right, you're right. I've enjoyed a number of pieces of it. It's not what I was hoping for, but there you go. Got a battle going. It's the nicest battle of the thing so far. So who are we rooting for again? Finally get the Emperor in on it. Right. Having done it already. And who's gonna walk in? There we go. Nice misdirect. Now she kind of gets Luke's lines here. Now, see, I've been enjoying this part the best so far. Definitely. Another Christmas sweater. uh, nice, nice. uh, be interesting if you'd chosen to really go full Ebenezer Scrooge and fully down that whole road of, well, not in this, but see, we need a Star Wars Christmas Carol sometime where it's Palpatine as Ebenezer. Although I think it'd be more thematic for it to be Vader. Vader would fit as an Ebenezer Scrooge pretty well. Ta-da! The only member left of the Max Rebo band. Oh, jeez, I just realized what the disco ball was. Nice touch. One of the Imperial droids right there, huh? Well, First Order droids, sorry. Oh. We kept making Poe this way, huh? This is gonna go well. Yeah. Oh, you didn't say it. uh, porg sledding. Say, you want to make porgs more cute? Have porg sled. Oh, wow. That's an old reference right there. That's a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer reference, isn't it? What's his name? The snowman narrating that thing. Wow. Well, that is the first Lego Star Wars anything I've seen. I know they've apparently done some other Lego Star Wars stuff. That said, the last 10 minutes of that I quite enjoyed right there. Can't say I was a huge fan of the rest of it. I'll admit. There were some fun references, but yeah. Admit, I was hoping maybe more something on the level, say, a little more toward Robot Chicken. Let's say rather than where the Lego was targeted. But hey, I still enjoyed definitely parts of it. So I don't know who all is still with me here on this. Looks like there are a few of you currently viewing. So if you've got any comments, questions, toss them over in the chat, and maybe we'll talk a little bit before we go. I feel like I played a little bit of one of the Star Wars Lego games, but otherwise, no. I've never. It's never piqued my interest to go ahead and mess with the Star Wars Lego games, or the other ones too. I mean, it's not just Star Wars. Oh, some of the voice acting in here was cool. It was cool to get some of the people we had in here, I'll note, just on a different note. Getting Anthony Daniels back in there. Billy Dale Williams didn't have a lot to do as Lando, but that was nice. D. Bradley Baker in here. Even, again, not a ton for him to do in this one, but the bits that we did get out of him were fun. So, definitely a few of them. That was nice. Who else did we have? Let's see. Looking at the credit page here. Oh, Kelly Marie Tran actually was in as Rose, so she was doing her own voice. Yeah, that did sound, so that's nice. So yeah, so that was interesting. I can't say I'll ever watch it again, but that's fine too. uh, so hopefully all of you enjoyed it. Hopefully enjoyed it more than I did. Not to say I didn't enjoy it at all, because I did. Again, especially that last 10-minute stretch or so in there, I thought was pretty well executed. So, if nobody else has anything else, I'm probably not going to stick around here too much longer because, yeah, just like you're saying, not much to say on it, honestly. Kind of speaks for itself to some degree. Hi, Necrom. New to the channel. Well, welcome to the channel. Good to go ahead and see you. Let me shift this over this way so at least I look like I'm looking at everybody when I'm talking now, being that I don't need to have the video up over there. But yeah, I look forward to you seeing some of the content there in Necrom and checking out. Obviously, I've got a fair bit of Star Wars stuff at this point because I've watched all the way through Clone Wars for the first time, for that matter, too. I'm currently watching through Rebels for the first time. And then with Mandalorian currently airing, we've got the new episodes of that coming each week. Can't wait for the Obi-Wan series when it eventually comes out. Hugely looking forward to that. I'm a huge fan. So, yeah, lots of Star Wars stuff there. I've got some other Star Wars stuff here and there. There's a piece on Star Wars theory on Padme and why she died, and also talking about the science even actually behind why she died. And I've got at least one creative video on Star Wars, so there's a bit of different Star Wars stuff in there. Still got to do a lot more. Oh, actually, one of the earliest videos I did on the channel was actually a Star Wars one with 5 things you didn't know about the speeder chase on, in Attack of the Clones. Probably one of the less watched videos on the channel too, but that's another matter. Sportjan, is Bad Batch still for 2021? Last of my knowledge, yes. I haven't heard any changes to that. I remember getting that news. I reported on a Disney News video way back. That's months ago. But I haven't heard anything new one way or the other, so hopefully. Obviously, with the pandemic going on, that can screw with all kinds of schedules. Although, from everything we've seen so far, animation tends to be less affected by that because it's easier to do those kind of things remotely. So here's hoping that still is on schedule for 2021, because definitely I'd love to see that. I was talking about it a little before when we were finishing up Clone Wars, and I think there's all kinds of potential with where we could go and some of the people we could see continuing stories of. And yes, I don't know who does pop or doesn't pop up in Rebels, so we'll grant that off the bat. Also, I think, at least I'm hoping Bad Batch starts off at a more mature level right from the get-go, which would give it a nice advantage over both Clone Wars and Rebels in that sense. So here's hoping, right? And yeah, hopefully 2021 we will end up getting, for Star Wars, we'll hopefully end up getting an Obi-Wan as a series. We'll get a season 3 for Mandalorian. We'll get Bad Batch. And I'm not sure if any of the others are coming next year. So I'm not sure when we'll end up getting the Cassian Andor series, or when we'll end up getting the female focused series. And also, there's tons of rumor about a spin-off off of Mandalorian. Tons of rumor about one filming even here in the near-term future, or possibly now. But we're not going to hear probably a whole lot more definitive on that until after Mandalorian finishes airing. That's my guess on that, but there very well might be another show coming next year. Whether that be a Boba Fett show or an Ahsoka show, or whichever the heck way they're going on it. Not sure. I've heard a lot of the rumor toward being Boba Fett, but don't know what we'll see. Let's see, I actually saw the video on Did Palpatine Kill Padme, and I've always had the feeling that he was behind it on killing her by draining her life energy to give it to Anakin Vader. Yeah, I think given everything and looking at it, it seems like the best explanation for what happened, especially given that we've seen Palpatine work at those distances. And certainly a much more satisfied answer than, she just gave up the will to live. Yeah. Sportsan, yeah, hoping it starts her in Order 66. I agree. Let's start Bad Batch, Order 66 time period or before. And I mentioned one of the other shows. If I could set another show, say Clone Wars-esque time period, I'd love to have a Wolfpack show. So hopefully Wolfpack will show up, say, somewhere in Bad Batch as well. That would be cool. Anyway. So it's a bright future right now for Star Wars. Certainly on the small screen anyway. As far as the big screen is concerned, right now we're waiting till, 2023? Because there won't be any Star Wars movies this year, and then next year is going to be the first of the next 4 Avatar movies. So then it's going to be, 2023, 2025, and 2027. But as to what those are, who the heck knows? I mean, it would be cool if we go back to the High Republic, and that is the idea, because there's a lot of theorizing around that, given that there's talk about jumping to a different time period, all the push they're doing on High Republic right now. On the other hand, maybe it's just going to be a one-off that we get in 2023. Maybe it'll be Taika Waititi's movie. Man, I really have no idea where the heck they're going to be going here in the movies. Not a clue. But all kinds of good things that could come out of it. So yeah. Yes, indeed. So Star Wars, bright future. Lots to look forward to. True, games, books, comics, and series are almost all appreciated. Yes. Always. Always, always. I said there's so much content out there. I mean, I don't have a hope in hell of touching anywhere near all the content. Dang. Oh, I only wish. I haven't I haven't seen a lot of the content that's really come out nowadays as far as new canon is concerned. I've got a lot to still touch and try to work into at some point. Certainly, I've seen a lot of the old EU, but and mainly old EU in the post Jedi time frame, although some during the OT time period, and a little bit during the prequel time period. So, figure I'll see some more here in the upcoming future, and we'll see where they take the main thrust of it. I'm hoping the High Republic stuff ends up getting well received, and we'll get a new time period to really jump into. Okay. Anybody got anything else for me here before I go ahead and sign on off? I'm not seeing anything else. So it looks like I probably will go ahead and jump off. So, anybody, as far as Star Wars stuff is coming up, next up Sunday we'll be live streaming at noon, and that will be the finale for season 1 of Rebels. And so that'll be the last 3 episodes, it sounds like. That's what I've been told. So that's what we'll be going ahead and doing there. And then I'll be doing the Kanan comics the week after that, so a week and a day after that on the normal Monday. Won't be a live stream. And then we'll keep on going from there. And of course, Mandalorians every Friday as soon as I can get that video out, because I stay up, of course, watch it, and then stay up until I get done with that right there. Okay. So, with that, everybody, may the Force be with you, always. And have a magical day, and I'll see you next time around.